What's going on, guys? I'm Nick Conti, and in this video, we're gonna go over how you're gonna be able to make 6 figures plus from your trading this year. I wanna dive into it right away by saying, if your initial reaction to that was like, oh yeah, right. Oh, what's your course? What are you selling me, buddy? You're already setting yourself up for failure. And hear me out on this one. I want you to have an open mind for what I'm about to tell you. Your way of thinking is going to be the root foundational cause of whether or not you see success as a trader at all. Doesn't even have to be this year at all. Because if you have a negative poverty mindset of like, oh yeah, 6 figures, 100K, I'm going to see that in my lifetime. Yeah, sure, whatever. You're already setting yourself up for failure. You see this right here? It says Control, Alt, Delete. Control yourself, alter your thinking, and delete negativity. If you could do those 3 things, that's going to be a strong foundation that's going to lead to your growth as a trader overall. And just in your personal life, everything. You can't be a negative person and expect to get all the wealth and riches that you desire. I may not be where I want to be in my life right now, but I've done what it takes as a trader to realize why. I have been a very pessimistic, negative person. I always look for the worst in any situation. I'd always want to be right. And that pessimism, sure, that they say pessimists are great analysts, but optimists are much wealthier in their riches and in life. And it makes so much sense because pessimists look at things from a more realistic perspective. They don't see the infinite possibilities of abundance and things that aren't seemingly possible become possible. Like pessimists, for example, I'm sure you guys all heard this story of the guy that broke the 4-minute mile. Everyone thought, oh, that's impossible. That's never going to happen. And then it happened, and then more people did it because one guy did it, and they saw it was possible. That one guy proved all the pessimists wrong, which means he was an optimist because he knew that he could break that record. So that's the foundational aspect of how you're going to get to 6 figures. Because if you're a negative thinker, you're not going to get there. It's not possible. You're repelling yourself from getting those riches, from getting the goals or from achieving the goals that you're trying to achieve. That's the number one most important thing. That's the heart. That's the foundation. Because if you're not being a positive thinker, you don't believe in yourself, it's impossible. It's literally impossible. You're literally saying to the universe, I don't want this wealth. I say I want it, but I don't actually want it. That's what you're doing. And if you have that way of thinking, then you're not going to get it. That's what's held me back this year. I know that's the heart of what's held me back this year. And that way of thinking cut out, deleted from my mindset. That's number 1. Number 2, the tactical side of your trading. The actual executions, your actual system and strategy. People blame their FOMOing, revenge trading, all their emotional mistakes just because they can't control their emotions. There's a reason why you're having that emotional disarray where you're losing control and you're just going on tilt and blowing your accounts at least once or twice a week. And the reason for that is because 1, you're not backtesting up. You don't trust your system. Your strategy might just suck. You might need to refine it. You might need to tweak your entries. You might be longing near high a day too much or shorting your low a day too much. You might be trading in the middle of price action and you're wondering why you keep blowing your accounts. The FOMOing, the chasing trades, that leads to lack in confidence in your strategy. And that's going to boil back down to journaling and backtesting. That's how you improve the tactical side. Number 3, routine. I know this is the motivational guru stuff where they're like, oh, you got to get up at 4 a.m., you got to cold shower, you got to run 1,000,000 miles before you can even start your trading day. I'm not saying you have to do all that. What I am saying is you should be looking at the charts the day before and the morning of and having some type of game plan prior to going into your trading day. Because if you're rolling out of bed at 9:30 to go straight to your computer, 1, you're not fully awake to make good decisions and control your emotions. 2, you have no idea what you're getting into. You're going into a war zone without any weapons, without any type of game plan for how you're going to attack the enemy. or how you're even going to survive. And 3, you're reinforcing the bad habit of waking up around that time if you decide to go trade in those conditions. It's important to have a routine. It's important to know what to look for. Your routine is a part of your system. Doing the post-market analysis, looking at NASDAQ or the stocks, if you're trading options, individual names. It's important to do that the night before, because at least in the morning of, you're not going to be as fully focused because you're still kind of waking up no matter what you do. At least going into the market or going into your pre-market analysis, you'll already have in your memory, your storage of what to look for and what your game plan is going to be. And then you can see how it plays out pre-market and then go about that plan during the day, during market hours. So super important. Routine. Because think about your competition. Think about all the other elite traders. What are they doing? You see all these gurus, all these prop firm traders, all these institutional traders. They're not rolling out of bed at 9:30. They have a system. They follow through with that system each and every day. The live stream traders that you see, they're on it every day, every weekday. They're doing their research. They're doing their analysis. They put their time in. So even when it seems like they just trade and that's it, they're putting in the work on the back end. They already did put the work in the back end for all the time leading up to them becoming live stream traders to begin with. You just didn't see it because it was behind the scenes. And even if they were posting content at that time before they were actually making money, you wouldn't even care to begin with. Now it matters because now they're actually making money and they're good at marketing themselves. You gotta have that routine. So be a positive thinker, have a great tactical strategy by backtesting it, journaling, doing whatever you have to do to refine your strategy so that you can be confident in placing your trades so that you don't go on emotional tilt. And blowing accounts twice a week, at least. You don't need that. And then number 3, have a routine. Number 4, base hits over home runs. This one you've heard so many times. Every single trader says this. It is so true. Think about how you've been trading. Think about the amount of times you specifically have gone for home runs. And when I point at the camera, I'm pointing at you and I'm pointing at myself because I can't even tell you the amount of times I'm like, oh, this is it. This is gonna be a 100 point trade. And then it reverses back to my stop. And it's either gonna be stopped in small profit or stopped at break even or stop for a stop loss. That is painful. That break even alone is the outcome that you didn't want to get on that trade. And me personally, I count a break even as a loss, especially when it was deep in profit, because that break even hurts because you lost on profit. You could have been done for the day off that trade alone. So that in itself is a trigger. Focus on the base hits. All you really need is 10 to 40 points a day max. If you have good sizing on your trades, then you could maybe let that one winner run if it's blasted through, but have that runner, have a stop preset at one of your previous TPs. Don't let it go back to break even for a loss after you've already taken profit. It's not worth it. That's how you get smaller wins and how the losses get to be bigger than your winning days. Your losing days get to be bigger than your winning days, and that's how you end up losing your accounts. This is for prop firm trading, but it could apply to your personal account as well. So important, guys. The base hits, because by extension, the only times I'd maybe recommend going for the home runs is for the evals. Because the evals you're just trying to pass. The only thing with that is when you pass the evals doing it that way, that bad habit could trickle down into your funded trading. So you got to be careful with that. I have a video on how to pass the evals quick. I'll make another one soon to make it more recent, more concise. But the base hits are so important, guys. This actually leads me to my next point. Number 5, your trading rules. You need, I promise you, you need to have trading rules. Even discretionary traders have some type of trading rules. I promise you're gonna need it. I don't know how many times I can say that. You need to have a set of trading rules because I feel like a lot of you guys don't have that. I didn't have it, and I just kept blowing accounts. And then I finally made the list on a Google Doc, and I was like, all right, now I know what not to do. I have it written on paper. Now I know what not to do and what to do in certain situations. Like, for example, for me, I trade the 15-minute opening range. I do not trade in the middle of price action. I cannot take any trades there. There's too much fuckery that goes on. I can't take any singular trade. I don't care how good it looks. I don't care if it's an A+ setup. It's not an A+ setup if it's in that price range. I can't do it. I've been stopped out so many times. I've taken so many losses. I've been untold so many times from trading in the middle of that price action. I can't do it. That is one of my number one trading rules. One of. That's so important, guys. You need to have rules like that. Because if you don't, you're going to keep making the same mistakes. These rules, it's hard to follow your rules when your triggers occur from breaking your rules and from doing things you're not supposed to do, so you don't have to face consequences of them. These rules are so important, guys. I can't stress that enough. And you need to have different rules for different type of days. Like for me, if I see prices consolidating, like if we're in a range day, then I'm just going to play, I guess you could say, support and resistance within the opening range or based off a key level. You got to have these types of rules, guys. Tactical rules, routine rules, any rule you can think of, just put it down. Something that you know is going to save you and make you more money by extension if you follow that rule. Because anytime you break your rule, and even worse, if it works out for you, it's just going to lead to a downward spiral because you had it work that one singular time, but with the times it doesn't work, one, you knew you weren't supposed to do it, so that's going to cause you to go on tilt. And then two, it's reinforcing the bad habit of doing that bad habit again to begin with. You gotta have rules. You gotta if there's anything you take from this video, make a list of rules for your trading system on a Google Doc. Everything that's caused you to go on tilt and blow your account from a tactical side and from a psychological side, put that in the Google Doc on what not to do or what to do. It's so important, guys. I can't stress enough how important that is. That's number 5. Over time, as you get better, you want to scale up slow. You do want to scale up. Scaling up is going to be pretty important if you really want to be able to get those big payouts. Every single thing I mentioned is just, this is the way. This is the literal method. I don't know what else I could put down. Because if you follow, especially number 2, the tactical side, and number 5, the rules, following those 2 alone is going to prevent you from having those emotional days. Because you won't be put in the positions where you have those emotional triggers occur, where you end up going on tilt and blowing your accounts for the day. If you're blowing your accounts even after following your rules and system, then it could have just been a bad day. It would, like, if it's a day you're not disappointed in losing, then that's fine. Then you could just see it from a tactical data side of what went wrong, why did this trade not work out, and then go from there. But it's the emotional blow-ups that are killing your guys' potential profits. I'm telling you, that was my biggest pitfall this year. 1, getting over the learning curve, and 2, the emotional side. But the emotional side mostly rooted upon where I was at on the learning curve. You definitely want to be conscious of these things if you really want to be able to make 6 figures. Because with these prop firms, with Top Step, Apex, Tradeify, My Funded Futures, it is so, I don't think it's ever been easier to get 6-figure payouts from prop firms to improve your trading, to give you a better life. And honestly, here's a bonus tip. This one's so important. I didn't go too deep into the trading psychology aspect of things because most of that's rooted upon the system and improving the tactical side of your trading strategy and everything. Forget the external forces or circumstances. Forget the life you're trying to escape. Forget any of your dreams or whatever while you're trading. You're doing your job. Following your strategy, following your rules, doing everything you know you need to do to have a great day as a trader and to add up those great days day by day by day. Your circumstances, Anything outside of your trading doesn't matter while you're trading. It does not matter. Like for me, I want to move down to Florida. I'm living in my hometown right now. I'm trying to move out. That does not matter for my trading. It doesn't matter when I'm looking at the charts, looking for my setup, waiting for it to occur to be able to execute properly on. That doesn't matter. So that's something you got to keep in mind. It's important to have these goals, guys. Because if you don't have goals, like for me, it's a $250,000 trading year, just for my trading profits alone. If you don't have goals, it's going to be hard to get to any type of destination. It's going to be hard to hold on to the money, to really know what you're shooting for, why you're doing what you're doing. Like you could do it intrinsically without even really thinking about it and just doing it because you like doing it. The passion is also important. There's so many things I could mention in this video. I try to focus on the most important things. Passion, self-belief, the passion's another crucial one, but the positive thinking is rooted, like that's where the self-belief and perseverance are rooted upon. The positive thinking. It's hard to do that when you're a negative Nelson, when you're like, oh, this isn't gonna work out. This isn't for me. I can't do this. You're right. If you think that way, then you're right. And the universe is just gonna prove it to you time and time again, validating your claim. It's not good. You're better off thinking that you can do this, that it is possible, than not. Because if you end up not being right, then who cares? It doesn't matter. You tried. You'll feel better about yourself knowing you tried anyway. And it is possible. I promise you, I promise you, I promise you, I promise you. It is possible. Most of the people you see around you are negative Nelsons. That's why most people don't succeed, because they're all so negative. Because everyone around them is negative. If everyone around you is negative, and believe me, I know what that's like, you gotta be the light that shines in the darkness. I know most times it's not easy, especially when you have a bad trading day. You gotta look at the positives. And when you have a bad trading day, here's what you gotta do. Say you blew your account for the day. It is what it is. Look outside your window. I don't feel like turning the camera because I'm gonna have to turn it back again and it's just gonna be a hassle. But look outside your window. It's like that song from I Spy with Lil Yachty. He goes, look around, bro. Look at life. Literally just do that and then you'll instantly be in a better mood. You're like, you know what? Look at the bigger picture. That applies right back into your trading. Look at the bigger picture. Say you missed your entry, there's plenty more opportunities to come. That goes back to the positive thinking of abundance. Whatever it takes, guys. You gotta do whatever it takes. You gotta be serious about this. Don't treat this like a joke anymore. Because if you keep treating it like a joke, then those are the types of results you're gonna get. Your trading is gonna be a joke. How you behave and how you are is a reflection, or is going to be reflected back on the charts. I promise you that. If you act like a clown, you're gonna trade like a clown. And you're gonna keep blowing your accounts. You can't have that anymore. 2025, you gotta take this shit serious. It's a business. It's a legitimate business. It really is. I talked about a lot of things in this video. I think everything I said was important. I don't know what else I could have mentioned. I could always go deeper into the tactical side of things, but that's a whole other video in itself. But I'm gonna do a recap. Number one, alter your way of thinking from negative to positive. Be a positive thinker. Have an abundance mindset. That's going to be the heart, the core, the foundation of you being a successful trader. I promise you that. I made a lot of promises in this video, but every single one of them holds true. Number two, focus on improving your trading from the tactical side. Improve your executions and do this by back testing, refining your strategy, seeing where it could be better through journaling and back testing. Number three, your routine. You need to have a routine. If you don't have a routine, you're going to be behind the rest of the competition who's lapping you, who's outperforming you by a landslide because they do have a routine. And that routine is what makes them continuously profitable, consistent, and successful as a trader. Most people don't do that, and that's why they get the results that they get. That's why they just become another statistic. Number 4, have trading rules. If you don't have trading rules, you're not going to know what not to do, and then you're going to keep doing the thing you know you're not supposed to do. Number 5, have trading goals. If you don't have trading goals, you're not going to know where you're trying to get to, and you're subconsciously not really going to understand why you're doing what you're doing, and then you're just going to lead yourself down a bad hole of constantly blowing accounts, putting yourself in bad situations. That's not good. You got to have trading goals so you know where you're trying to go to. Everything that I've mentioned is a culmination of one major thing that I might have mentioned in the beginning, but I don't remember. Experience. Applying these things is going to take time. Just because you watch this video doesn't mean, snap, now you just figured it all out. Now you're going to be a profitable trader. It takes time to apply it. Applying all these things in real time, digging out the weeds of your current trading career that have caused your garden not to grow, it's gonna take a little bit of time, guys. That's up to you on how long it's gonna take. You can expedite that process exponentially by constantly attacking, constantly getting after it, getting at it, by trying to fix all the flaws that have been in your trading so far that have held you back from being a profitable trader. That's the culmination of everything. That is the key of what it's gonna take. As long as you believe in yourself, as corny as that sounds, it holds true. You will be fine. You will be a profitable trader. You will be able to get 6 figures plus in your trading. You'll be able to break over 100K in payout profits from maybe not having any last year or having less than 5 figures this year. I promise you, you have what it takes to be a successful trader as long as you apply everything that I said in this video. That's what's going to take. And it's as easy as you make it out to be. That comes back to your positive thinking. I'm going to wrap it up there. This video is getting super long, but I hope you guys like this video. I got plenty more videos like these coming out real soon. I'm going to be crushing on content in 2025 along with my trading, and you're going to be seeing the progress along the way. You're going to be seeing my success in real time, and I thank you all for joining the ride, being by my side, and I hope my success inspires you in due time. Enjoy the rest of your day. Peace.